The Europe we know today stands as a beacon of history, culture, and economic prosperity. It is a continent where ancient civilizations left their mark in the form of architectural wonders, where innovation has repeatedly reshaped societies, and where millions dream of building a better future. From the bustling streets of Paris to the historic canals of Venice, from the towering castles of Germany to the sunlit coastlines of Greece, Europe has been a stage for human achievement for thousands of years. It is home to some of the highest standards of living in the world, supported by robust economies, advanced infrastructure, and well-developed social safety nets. The continent continues to be one of the most desirable regions to migrate to, with studies showing that a staggering 70% of the world's top 10 most sought-after countries for relocation are found within its borders. Its blend of stability, opportunity, and cultural richness makes it a magnet for those seeking security and prosperity. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the fascinating world of extinct reptiles and their incredible stories, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to uncover about these prehistoric wonders. So let's keep exploring together. Stay tuned for more. Yet, despite the beauty and refinement of modern Europe, it was not always this way. There was a time when setting foot on this land was an invitation to a battle against nature itself, time when life was not measured in years, but in days or even hours. Survival was dictated by an unyielding struggle against forces beyond human control, and those who were not strong enough simply did not last. The land that now flourishes with grand cities and fertile fields was once a hostile wasteland, a realm where humans were not at the top of the food chain, where every shadow could conceal death, and where every breath drawn was an act of defiance against an environment designed to kill. To truly understand how brutal and unforgiving this lost world was, one must travel back 26,000 years to an era before civilization, before the rise of empires, when Homo sapiens were not rulers, but survivors. This was the height of the last glacial maximum, the coldest and harshest phase of the Ice Age, a time when the very geography of Europe was unrecognizable, buried beneath a frozen landscape so vast and so merciless that few could endure it. The planet was locked in a deep freeze, colder than it had been in over 100,000 years, with global temperatures plunging 9-day U4C, 16-day U4F lower than today. While that number may seem insignificant, it meant that vast swaths of Europe were rendered entirely inhospitable to life. Towering glaciers stretched across the landscape, swallowing entire regions beneath ice sheets, so thick they exceeded 3 kilometers, 1.8 miles. In some areas a depth so immense that entire mountains were buried beneath the ice. What is now Scandinavia, the British Isles, Germany, and much of Eastern Europe was transformed into a frozen wasteland where nothing could grow, where the ground itself was locked in ice. Rolling plains, an endless barren steppe stretched across the continent. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the fascinating world of extinct reptiles and their incredible stories, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to uncover about these prehistoric wonders, so let's keep exploring together. Stay tuned for more. This was the Mammoth Steppe, an ecosystem unlike anything seen today, an expanse of desolation where icy winds howled, where vegetation was sparse, and where the land was shaped more by permafrost than by life. This was a world designed not for comfort, but for endurance, where every creature that called it home had been hardened by evolution, sculpted by necessity to withstand conditions that would be utterly unthinkable to modern species. Yet, against all odds, life persisted. In fact, this period was marked by one of the greatest concentrations of megafauna that Europe had ever seen. From the frozen tundras of what is now France to the wind-scoured plains of Siberia, colossal creatures roamed in staggering numbers, giants that towered over the landscape, their thick fur and immense bulk their only defenses against the bitter cold. But for every great herbivore that walked this frozen land, there lurked an even greater danger. Predators, perfectly adapted to the unrelenting conditions of the Ice Age, stalked the shadows, each one a lethal force capable of taking down the largest prey. For the humans who lived in this world, the presence of these animals was both a blessing and a curse. The vast numbers of mammoths, woolly rhinos, and reindeer provided an abundant food source, but to hunt them meant facing some of the deadliest predators Europe had ever produced. Every hunt was a gamble, an expedition that could just as easily end in a feast as in death. Meanwhile, the creatures that prowled the land ensured that humans were never truly safe, that even in moments of victory, they were always being watched, always being measured as potential prey. Among the most fearsome dangers of Ice Age Europe were the great cats, the apex predators of the frozen world. Today, We associate lions and tigers with Africa and Asia, but during the last glacial maximum, it was Europe that belonged to the big cats. The most dominant among them was Panthera spelaea, the cave lion, a creature so immense that it made even the largest modern lions and tigers look small by comparison. This was not merely a scaled-up version of today's lions. This was a predator engineered by nature to be a perfect killer. A fully grown cave lion could weigh over 400 kilograms, 880 pounds, and stretch nearly 3 meters, 10 feet, in length, making it one of the largest felines to ever walk the earth. But some individuals, particularly those found in what is now Ukraine, were even larger, with estimates suggesting that certain specimens reached over 500 kilograms, 1,100 pounds, putting them in the same weight class as a modern polar bear. These were monsters in every sense of the word, built for raw power, their limbs longer and more muscular than those of their African relatives, their claws larger and sharper, their jaws more powerful, times their size. Unlike modern lions, these Ice Age hunters thrived in brutal cold. Their thick, dense fur insulated them against the freezing winds, while their immense strength allowed them to hunt some of the most formidable creatures of the era. Cave lions preyed on reindeer, bison, and even young mammoths, using their incredible speed and power to bring down animals that modern big cats would never dare to challenge. But their diet was not limited to animals. Alone humans, too, fell victim to these Ice Age predators. Fossil evidence confirms that Neanderthals and early Homo sapiens in Europe bore the unmistakable bite marks of cave lions, proving that these cats did not see humans as rivals, but as food. Some of these unfortunate individuals were likely ambushed, dragged into the darkness, and torn apart in the very same caves where their ancestors sought shelter. Add on early humans. Unlike many extinct creatures that faded into obscurity, the cave lion left a permanent scar on the human psychezo, much so that Ice Age artists painted their likeness on cave walls, which would have made them even deadlier to lone humans wandering the steppe. But they were not the only terror lurking in prehistoric Europe. In the darkness of the forests, homotherium, the last of the saber-toothed cats in the Eastern Hemisphere, still roamed. For years, scientists believed that this predator had gone extinct long before humans arrived in Europe, but a single fossil jawbone unearthed near the North Sea changed everything. Dated to just 28,000 years ago, it proved beyond doubt that homotherium had survived long enough to encounter modern humans. Unlike Smilodon, which was built for brute force, homotherium was a highly specialized pack hunter, capable of taking down prey as large as mammoths. It was faster, more intelligent, and more coordinated than its saber-toothed cousins, and evidence suggests that it regularly preyed on humans as well. What makes this predator even more haunting is the psychological imprint it left on our ancestors. Unlike many extinct creatures that disappeared without a trace from human memory, the cave lion was burned into the minds of Ice Age humans, so much so that they painted its likeness on the walls of caves, recording their fear and respect for this apex hunter for thousands of years. Some depictions suggest that cave lions may have been social, hunting in coordinated groups, which would have made them even deadlier to any lone human wandering into their territory. But the cave lion was not the only feline menace. Another terror lurked in the frozen forests of prehistoric Europe, a predator so feared that it became the last saber-toothed cat to ever walk the continent. For years, scientists believed that Homotherium, one of the most highly specialized saber-toothed cats, had vanished long before modern humans arrived. But a single fossilized jawbone, found near the North Sea, changed everything. Dated to just 28,000 years ago, it proved that Homotherium had survived far longer than previously thought, meaning that it inevitably crossed paths with humans. Unlike the famous Smilodon, Homotherium was built for speed, endurance, and pack coordination. Rather than relying on brute force, it was a highly intelligent hunter, using its short but bone-piercing fangs to deliver precise, devastating kills. It regularly hunted mammoths, as evidenced by fossil sites littered with both Homotherium remains and the shattered bones of their elephantine prey. What makes this predator even more terrifying is the discovery that it had a gruesome feeding habit: dismembered its prey before eating it, ensuring that its victims endured an excruciating death. And as if humans didn't have enough to worry about, they also had to contend with one of the most terrifying predators of the Ice Age cave hyena. While hyenas today are often underestimated, these ancient carnivores were a force of nature, hunting in packs of up to 100 individuals, overpowering even the largest prey. On average, they were as large as a modern jaguar, but their bone-crushing bite allowed them to crack open the thickest bones with ease. They were so dominant that they even outcompeted cave lions, with fossils revealing that they frequently killed lions simply to eliminate the competition, sometimes leaving their bodies uneaten. But the most disturbing evidence of their ferocity comes from human remains. Fossils from across Ice Age Europe show clear signs of cave hyena attacks, with bones displaying deep bite marks, suggesting that these predators actively hunted humans. In some cases, hyenas appear to have raided burial sites, digging up and devouring corpses, leaving behind only scattered bones. For Ice Age humans, survival was a relentless battle. Every step outside their shelters was a risk, every hunt a gamble, and every night a test of endurance against the elements. The fact that they not only survived but eventually thrived, driving many of these predators to extinction, is a testament to their resilience. Dangerous place on Earth. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the fascinating world of extinct reptiles and their incredible stories, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to uncover about these prehistoric wonders, so let's keep exploring together. Stay tuned for more.